We are going to unbox my first ignition model and review it. This is Max Arito's personal car, the Mark IV Supra in Ridox kit. And I believe this is the wide body version. If I'm not mistaken, there are two versions of the kit. One is the regular version, and then of course the wide body. And I think this is the wide body version because it has the over fender. I can kind of see it. It's kind of hard to see because you don't really see the rivets on the over fender because of the paint. Yeah, if you don't know who Max Arito is, he is a legendary driver in Japan. He won a couple of Super GT, and also he's into drifting. I think he's one of the pioneers. He was a judge before he became a driver in D1 Grand Prix. So I don't know much about D1 and drifting. But I do know a little bit about Super GT. That's why I know him. So I think he's still driving, if I'm not mistaken. Matsuda, on the other hand, he retired early this year. So he's also a legendary Japanese driver in Super GT. So anyway, let's take a look at this model. The acrylic, well, first of all, the acrylic looks really, really clear here. And of course, let's take a look at the bottom of the box. Of course, ignition model in the top left corner. Got your barcode here, the name of the model, Toyota Supra JZA80 RZ in red. 64 scale, of course, and this is an official product by Toyota. So, yeah, and like I said, this is my first ignition model. If I have to bet my money on it, I don't think it rolls because in 118 scale, well, I want to say most of them, if not all of them, are resin. They're 118 scale. And this is Diecast. I looked this up. I asked a couple of guys over on Discord. They said it's Diecast, it's not resin, which is really surprising to me because usually you get this kind of details. Like, I mean, if you look at the panel lines, like it's so detailed and it's so defined, and you usually get this kind of details on a resin, but it is die-cast, and also the paint is super good. Anyways, let's take a look at the base. The base first. Well, of course, it has carbon fiber details and pattern with the red accent. Looks like it's stitched, but it's not really stitched. It's not cloth or anything. It's a plastic. So it's not like suede or anything like that, but has that stitch pattern accent around the base, which is cool. And I think some of the bays for their 43rd and 118, they're actually leather or fake leather, and they have like stitching like this. So maybe that's what they're trying to mimic here for the 64 scale. And this one is a limited production model. I'm not really sure if it's numbered or not. I don't think so. But it's limited, and of course the plate shows the ignition model brand JZA80, and of course Supra down here. Very nice looking base, if you ask me. Let's take it off its base, and yeah, I'm really happy that ignition model, they were in 64 scale game like a couple years ago, and then they stopped. I don't know why, and then they focused on 118, and then now they're back in 164. And I think they did a couple of 143rd as well, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm glad they are back in 64 scale because I couldn't buy their 118 because it's so expensive. So, and it's resin. And it's really hard. I'm scared of, holding a resin model, if I'm being honest. 118, 164, in any scale, really, because they're so fragile. Let's take a look at the tires here real quick. I like the tire threads. I think they look good. And it's rubber tires, of course. And, it rolls, but it kind of rubs on the top of the fender. I kind of expected that because the way this car sits. Let me just use this box right here. The drop is perfect to me. Minimal gap in the middle there. and minimal gap on the wheel arch as well. So I like it, and I'm just glad it rolls. Does it roll like Mini GT? Of course not. But if you roll it while holding the car like this, it'll roll. So if that matters to you guys, yeah, there you go. There's your answer. Side profile looks good. Take a look at the wheels. I do see the brake details. You know, it's kind of hard to see with this wheel pattern, but the rotor and brake caliper is actually back there. And the brake caliper is blue. It's right there. Of course, in the back, there's brake details as well. Front end looks really good. The acrylic lens or the lens headlights here are really clear. The details, the headlight housing looks good with all those details inside. It has a Japanese plate already. I've always, wanted to add like a Japanese plate on my JDM models, but I still don't know where to buy them. But I'm glad this one has the Japanese plate already, and it's probably because it's Max's personal car. That's why Ignition Model added that. And then of course you see this front lip, and that's of course part of the Ridox kit. Looks really nice. And then back there you can kind of see right behind the plate, you can see the intercooler. There's no grill in front of the intercooler, so you get a clear view of the intercooler back there right behind that plate. So it's very nice. Onto the bonnet, it's a two-tone bonnet, right? So you have a couple of vents on both sides here, and this part right here is in carbon fiber. It's very well done. I think this is supposed to be a vent, but it's closed, so it doesn't go through the bonnet. There's no Toyota badge or logo in front, and I think that is correct. And the real car does not have the Toyota badge either, so I'll try to put a photo up here again for comparison. And of course this is a right-hand drive, and then the interior, nothing special. You got your two black bucket seats in there. Not much color or accent. On the back there is a roll cage right there in black or dark gray. Got your Advan decal. And of course this one has a roof spoiler. It's tiny, it's not that much, but it's there. And the wing also is in carbon fiber. And then on the back, you can see the acrylic taillights, multicolor of course. You got your clear and then the couple of red dots there. In acrylic, that's very cool. And of course the Japanese plate. Similar to the front, there's no Toyota badge here in the back. Take a look at the wing support here real quick. There are gaps in the wing support, which is cool. And they could have, put like the solid wing support there, but instead they decided to add gaps, which is very cool. Props to Ignition Model for doing that. And okay, there's a single exhaust here on the left hand side, and it's painted really well in silver. Let's take a look at the base. I'm afraid to say that it feels plastic, guys. So this is not a metal base. It sounds plastic and it feels plastic to me, but at least there's a lot of detail here. And there's no car information or car name down here, but there's an IG, which stands for, I think, Ignition. I don't know if that's their logo or not. First time seeing that. But yeah, what do I think about this model? I really like it. Like the details are insane. Price, how much did I pay for this? I think 25, if I'm not mistaken, 25 or 30. I got this from My Guy Collectibles here in the US. I was gonna get this on RC Mart, but I missed out. And that's the thing with Ignition Model. Once they're out there in stock, once it's released, they sell out quick. I don't know. Maybe they, like I said, in the beginning, it says here it's limited production. So if you're interested in one of these, like any Ignition models, like in the future, just go ahead and pre-order it just to be safe, because they sell out fast. If you have this one, what do you think? Do you like it? I think it's accurate to the real life counterpart of the car. And the paint is also amazing. The wheels kind of rolls too. So I highly recommend it. And I think I'm going to buy more Ignition model now from now on. So, all right, that's it for tonight, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.